everybody, what's happening? How y'all? It's Ronnie again. Sitting out here, figured I'd make a video for you. Got to put it on the interwebs at some point. But today I was doing brakes on my truck, and I'm probably going to have to put a rotor on it. You'll see that probably in the next little bit, because I got to get the rotors back. Doing an old school type of brake job, what we used to do. Because we used to have to take and pull the rotors off and have them turned. If they couldn't be turned, then you bought new ones. Now the rotors have gotten so cheap for most things, you can just take and buy them and go. But my F250, 2011 F250 Super Duty, the rotors on it are about $200 a piece. So it's hard to take and justify. If I can get them turned for $30 and still have plenty of meat and everything, that's the best way to go for me. You know, save a little money if you can. But I'll know tomorrow. They couldn't turn them today because I didn't get it off till later in the day. So I'll finish that video up tomorrow. What I wanted to talk to you about now was this here, my Firebird and my Torino. It's dark here, so I'm not going to try to do videos of the Torino. But what I'm going to do, what I'm thinking about doing, people are really interested in the shorts I put out of the Torino, and I'm really wanting to get on it. I'm fixing to put that engine in the machine shop. I got another video on that I don't think I put out yet, and so I need to. But I want to put the engine in the machine shop and start building it. That's all. I've got all the parts for it. But that's the 460 board 60 over, which is a 472. It's going to have Kazi heads on it, hydraulic roller cam. And I'm debating about the intake, whether I go with the Victor intake I got with the Dominator, or I buy a ATM carburetor and go with a ported Edelbrock Torquer 2, which I've heard a lot of good things about. Or I even gave thought to a Edelbrock Performer RPM air gap, but I don't think I'm gonna have too much cam and heads for that. But anyways, we'll talk about that later. But my deal is this: I can't take and just stay on one thing all the time. Now, if I was doing it for a living and working on somebody's, yes, I could. But these are mine. You know, like them, hate them, I don't care. But they're mine. I love them. What I'm fixing to do right now is, not tonight, but in the next couple of weeks, I am going to take and do a paint series on this Firebird. Because two things. I want to get this Firebird out of here. Well, I want to pull it out and get the Torino in. I got more stuff I want to do to the Torino. And what I'm going to do with this one, I have stuff I need to do underneath, but what I want to do is protect the body as much as I can from what I got already. And I've got a lot of surface rust on this. So I've been playing around. You can see that white on the fender over there. That's just white rattle can spray paint. Hey, I'm not going to I've done rattle can this car once. I'm not going to do it again. But what I am going to do, I am going to do a quick paint job on this. And everybody is, out there is doing the Krylon roll-on paints and tractor paints and everything else, trying to get it as cheap as possible. Well, I've done it as cheap as possible with the spray cans. I'm over that now. What I want to do, Summit has a single stage dark candy apple red paint, gallon for $151. I'm also going to shop it around to my local O'Reilly's or Napa, see what they got. But I'm going to take and use my surface conditioner tool and my DA, and I'm going to see how cheaply I can get this car looking presentable on the outside, for basically so I can roll it out and set it outside and have less rust, and then I can take it in and out with the Torino to fix things. I'm going to go ahead and pull the engine and transmission out of this. I'm going to leave the front end on it for now. I was going to take the front end off, but with the front end on it and that a lot of space, it gives me a solid workplace to sand with. So I'm going to take and see how cheaply I can do it. I'm going to buy professional, quote-unquote, tools or stuff. I'm not going to do much body work, if any. Body on this car is pretty straight. I'm just going to take and condition the surface rust and get all the chunks off of it. You can see right here where it's got this checkerboard from the 70s factory lacquer. I'm going to have to go all the way down the metal to get that out, which I'm not worried about that. That's why I'm going to take and sand it down, and I'm going to paint primer, epoxy primer, or whatever they recommend for it, and I'm going to paint it. I'm going to get it, see how well I can get it, and it'll still need to have the floors welded in, but right now I just can't take and stay on one thing right now. I want to work on that Torino more, just because I love the car. I love this one, but I'm going to get these two engines out, rebuild the transmission on this and get it running and get it rolling, and then that way I can pull them in and out. And another reason being that I'm going to do it like that is, I told you this is a real life car building channel. Well, on the real life car building channel, things happen. Shit comes up. So if by some chance I have the money right now to do it, I don't have the money to put it in a body shop. I've got friends that, run body shops and everything. I don't have the money to pay them to do body work and paint and take up their, even if they did it for free or close to free, they got to make a living too. So I don't have the time and money to do it. I mean, a good paint job, you start talking, paying somebody to do it, you're in the $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, $10, $20,000 range, depending on how good you do and how good it is. All right, I don't have that kind of money on cars that, to be quite honest, aren't worth in that level of paint job. All right, if this was a 76 Trans Am Super Duty, yeah, we might start seriously thinking about, mortgaging the house and doing a full resto and everything. But that's not me. That's just, to me, it's not fun. It's like I've said, if you can't drive them, you might as well have a block of not wax, but clay, and mold it and everything, and make it look like you want, and just sit there and look at it. All right, I want to drive these cars, and that's what I'm going to do. But I do have to preserve them. So I'm going to take this one, and over the next few weeks, I am going to rebuild the doors, because I got both door hinges. I've got everything to rebuild the doors, and I'm going to strip it down, probably to bare metal, because I don't think I can get it any better. I know it's not going to be full rotisserie or nothing. I don't have the space or time for that. All right, and if something happens, I have more time to do automotive repair in fixing than I do body work and interior and things, which I've got stuff for the interior for this car. But I'm going to take and paint this car, and we're going to see just what you can do on a budget with professional style parts, or not parts, products. You know, I'm not going to take and buy the most expensive stuff like Eastwood and them. They are great. I'm going to buy some things from Eastwood, but they sell paint, and it's about what is it, about $250 to $800 a gallon. I can't deal with that. Actually, it's more than $250 a gallon. It's more. It's a lot more. So, and I'm not. That's why I'm also not going to do base coat, clear coat. Right now, I want to do a single stage paint because I just want to get this sanded. I want to get the rust, the surface rust neutralized, and get it looking reasonable. Another thing I'm tired of looking at it looking like this. I've let it get too far, and sometimes you need a win. All right, you older guys are going to understand this. You need a win, okay? If you got enough money and you can blow your car completely apart, and that's good for you, fantastic, do it. But by the same token, I don't have the money to be able to blow a car apart and do it. You got to remember, you've got 52 weeks a year, or weekends a year. I work about 50 to 60 hours a week. Okay? Most of the time I'm in my driving home and everything, I'm at a minimum of 12-hour a day, most times 12 to 13 and a half. By the time I get up in the morning, go to work, come back home. I don't have time to come out to the garage when I get off work and work on things. If you do, great for you. All right, do it, take advantage of it. So I have Sunday and I have Monday. All right, so my days off. Now, when you take and think about that, you have Sunday, Monday off. All right, I have to do things with the family, you know. And some days I wake up and I just really don't want to climb out of bed. And sometimes I might want to take and do other things in bed with, you know, wife and things like that. I'll let you think about it. So, you know, things happen. I've also got my elderly mother living with me. I have to take care of her. So, by the same token, you know, you take and weigh that into account. You don't get to come out here at 6 in the morning and stay out here for 14 hours a day. And honestly, you get burnt out on that. So I take and get as much as I can done. And tomorrow I've got a full day. It's like today I did the brakes on my truck, and I'm doing this video for y'all. Tomorrow I'm going to put my mother's car in my name. I got to go pick up the brakes on my truck, for my truck, if they're ready, the rotors. Then I'm going to put the brakes back on my truck, and then I'm going to take, and I've also got other things to do. My faucet on the back of my house is leaking. I got to fix that. These are real world car building challenges. You have to think about this stuff. All right. I'm in Tennessee. All right. This building of mine it's a metal building. It was not insulated. You can see it where I've insulated some of it. It does a lot better than it did before, and I use propane heaters for it. I still haven't gotten around to doing the roof, which is where most of the heat goes out, and where all the heat comes in. So I still got to do that, but that's I got to take money from other things, because that right there cost me anywhere from, depending on how I do it, $800,000. I don't have to go rent something to get up there. I don't have a ladder that I can stand on good. I'd have to rent a lift, and then I got to take and put the insulation up there. So it's a lot of work. But anyways, when you got it like that, another thing, I'm on the painting. I want to get this done in the next month or so. Get on this Firebird, so it looks a lot better, and I'll feel like I've done something. And I will have done a little bit, but it'll be better because it's going to start cooling off here in September, October. Well, in October. All right, it's still going to be hot, but it's going to cool off, and it's going to get a little rainy. And I'm not going to be able to take and paint, because I'm going to be painting it in the garage here or outside. It's going to be an outside paint job. Yeah, I know it's not that great, but I'm looking at spending $400 or $500 with actual real paint stuff than Krylon spray bomb, rattle bombs, or tractor paint or anything else. We're just going to see what it looks like. Worst thing I can do is I'll have to do it again next year, which I already planned on later on doing it again. Maybe I won't have to. We'll see. Y'all can come with me. I want you to. But, you have to think about that. I've got 5 months a year where I can get out here and do mechanical things, but I can't do a lot of, body work and things like that because it doesn't, the moisture is too high, the temperature is wrong, body filler and paint and everything else does not adhere the same in the different temperatures. Now, yes, people do paint cars in body shops and everything else all year round. Those are insulated body shops specifically made for it, places of work, and that's what you do. You can paint a car, you can do all the work, and the places, you're walking around in a t-shirt because you're not in the elements. This is my garage. This is all I have to work with. All right. So it's a two-car garage, which when I've got everything in here, I can only work on one car at a time. Throw all the tools in and everything else. It's just you can only do one at a time. So metal work I can do. I can weld. I can cut. I can do things like that. But when it comes to body work and things, all right, I'm not a body man anyways, or a painter, but I'm learning and I'll figure it out. Okay, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos, which me, that's one of my favorite things to go to. You can learn a shitload on. So I'm doing that, and when you look at it like that, all right, if you got 5 months a year, say 4 months even. All right, it's 4 weekends, 4 months of weekends. That's 16 weekends out of 52 where you can't do that body work and things. All right. Plus, you got days, the weekends that are just going to be so damn cold. It's going to take you an hour and a half or 2 hours to get the garage heated up to do anything. Because when it's down around 0, this garage sinks. The temperature stays single digits. If it's single digits outside, it's single digits in here until I get the heaters fired up, and it takes a while to heat them up. So you got to look at that, and then when it starts warming up, I've got things I got to do. I have to go do things with the family. Birthdays. I have to do get-togethers. I got to do things with my friends. I still want to have a life. My life is not going to revolve, well, not completely, around just sanding body work and working on these cars. Everybody thinks working on cars is a monolith. It is not. All right. It is not a shame. It is not bad for you to take and not be good at something and farm it out. Just because you farm something out doesn't mean you didn't build the car. All right. A lot of times it depends on if you can take and have the time to do it. My battery's probably going to run low here in a minute. I might make another video. I might just keep it going. But I tell you, leave you with this. About 15 years ago, I bought my house. Oh, well, I bought my house 2008. About 2010 or 12, my hot water heater went out. My ex-wife, my wife at the time, my ex-wife now, she got the water cut off. Okay, hot water heater went out. All right, so the place in town here is where it was bought from originally, so I bought another one. And I took and priced, I was going to stay home and install it. Never done it before, but I figured I could do it. But I would have had to learn to sweat copper, get it all hooked up. And at that time in my career, I made about $200 a day. My vacation days or sick days were around $200 a day. Well, I called up and Roto-Rooter wanted to come out. They did come out and they quoted me $600 and something, $650 to install it, and I already had the water heater. I paid like $350 or $400 for the water heater, something like that. So I already had the water heater, and they wanted that much to install it when I already had it. Well, I said no. So I called a plumber here in town that I still use in the town I live in, and they were fantastic. Still are. They were going to be late. They were going to be about 5 days before they could put it in because they were on a big job. They charged me $215 to put it in. That's it. Their laborers, the professionals putting it in, and that's what they did. Me, I would have had to. He had the hot water heater in 2 hours. My wife called me, told me it was done and everything. 2 hours, he had it in. We had hot water. Yeah, I had to go for a few days taking cold showers, but it was May, so it wasn't too awful bad. And got that in, and $217 later, it was done. I could have put it in myself for nothing, except for the cost of solder and everything else. But I would have spent all day teaching myself how to sweat copper pipe, solder the fittings in and everything, just to say that I saved that money. And I would have had to take off from work. I would have lost $200 because I would have had to burn that, or I could pay them, and I could have a chance of making more money by working more hours that day. So what do you think I did? Yep, that's right. I took and had them put the hot water heater in. So it is not a bad thing, and it's not shameful. All right, everybody wants to talk about built, not bought. All right, if you're taking and dropping your car off, and you got the money to do it, and somebody's going to build it, you damn well better make sure they're going to build it the way you want it. If you have the skills, do what you can. But if you can't, if you don't have the skills, you don't have the skills. If you're not willing to learn, then if you got the money, get it done. Just drive the damn things. That's all I say. I want to see them on the road. When these two cars get drivable again, they will be driven. They won't be show cars. I don't go for that. All right, they're going to be as nice as I can make them. They'll be as nice as my 2011 Ford F-250, body-wise and paint and everything, which is a really nice looking truck. Or it's going to be as nice as my wife's 2020 Ford Edge. But it's not going to be something I can't drive that I got to worry about. So you have to decide what you can do and what you can't. I can do anything that I set my mind to. Whether it's worth it or not is a different story. And part of the story in that is whether it's worth it in your wallet. All right, I don't have the money to take these cars and put them in a body shop and wait a year, 2 years for top-notch work, or 3 years, whatever. Okay, I don't have the money to do that. And you still got to take and ride herd on a lot of them. There's a lot of bad stories out there of people, um, having bad problems with body shops especially. So I'm going to take, I know my skill level. I can take and do a shitload of things. And you know what? When I screw up, it's a lot cheaper for me. I'm more into the wallet side than I am. Okay, if I screw up a fender, all right, I'm a lot better at buying a fender or redoing it and spending the money on extra materials than I am uh, waiting for somebody else to do it for me. I hate waiting in line. I hate waiting for somebody to do things for me. But that's me. But anyways, I just want to let y'all know this. So there's a reason for the season all year round, not just Christmas. And that's my cross. Anyways, you take and like, share, subscribe. Please share this with other people. All right. If you got any kind of knowledge out of this, which I've looked at my analyticals, and most people don't get this. All right, my card filled up, so I only got like 3 minutes left on this on my phone. But like I was saying, like, share, subscribe. Get out here and build these things. This is what I enjoy doing for recreation. Some people want to go fishing. I want to work on cars. Some people want to go racing. I do want to go racing, but I prefer right now, since I don't have anything running, I just can't go racing. But as soon as I can get something that I can take to the racetrack, I'm going to. Like I told you, I'm going to drive them. Drag a drive car and slalom. So some people love football. My wife, she's a football nut. I could care less. Baseball, same way. I love a good game, but it's just not for me. The one thing I never understood was college football, and I'm from the South. How people who can't even spell university will take and fall down to the church of UT or Alabama or Georgia. They just it just amazes me. They never even stepped foot on a college, and they're all for it. So be it. Anyways, like, share, subscribe. Let everybody know. Help me build this channel. I love to teach, even if I'm wrong. Somebody can tell me if I'm wrong, because you can learn as much about a lot of things by being wrong as you can about being right, and then fixing yourself or fixing what you did wrong. So, like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you later. God loves you. Love everybody. Be good. Bye.